One throne, two brothers. As the kingdom marched to war, no one suspected the real enemy was within. What happens at the end will leave you speechless. Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so to stay updated with the latest Nigerian movies from us. Today we're discussing a captivating new Nigerian movie that offers more than just entertainment. It's filled with valuable lessons, so you won't want to miss it. Let's get into it. The movie begins in a kingdom where one day, Prince Eze intervenes to rescue a maiden who was about to be raped by his brother, Prince Odi. During their fight, their mother, the queen, arrives. She slaps Prince Eze, and after he walks away, she also slaps Prince Odi. This is because Prince Eze had overpowered Odi in her presence, which she found embarrassing. Then, she leaves the scene. Prince Eze is shown helping the villagers in every way he can. Meanwhile, some maidens, including Ure and her group of friends, admire him and express a desire to be with someone like him, someone special they could settle down with. When Prince Eze returns to the palace, his father, the king, invites him to walk with him so he can share some important matters. During their walk, Prince Eze asks about the scars on his father's hands. The king tells him that he will explain when the time is right. Later that day, Ure returns home, where her father is helping her with chores. He asks why she's ignoring a man who is interested in her. Ure replies that she simply has no interest in him and then leaves, saying she needs rest. That same day, Prince Odi encounters Ure's father and collects palm wine from him for a celebration. He also demands that Ure's father bring him a big gallon of wine the next day, threatening him if he doesn't comply. Ure's father is left feeling helpless. That evening, Prince A prepares a special bushmeat dish for his father. Although the king initially hesitates because it's unusual for a prince to cook, he appreciates the gesture and enjoys the meal. While they're eating, Prince Odi arrives and joins them. When he finds out that Prince Eze prepared the delicious meal, he spits it out in disgust and leaves. Later that night, the queen wakes up Prince Odi because Prince Eze is beating a drum in the village square. Since Odi is the first son and heir to the throne, he sees his brother's actions as insignificant and vows to take revenge when he becomes king. His mother praises him for this. The next morning, Ure's father instructs her strictly to give the gallon of wine to Prince Odi or to anyone else. She agrees and leaves. At the palace, Prince Eze gives his father a gift, which the king appreciates. Then, Prince Eze and Odi go in to meet with the king. During the meeting, the king asks Prince Odi whether he prefers to be feared or respected as a leader. Odi chooses fear. In response, the king shares a story about a past war and explains that before Odi can be crowned king, he must prepare for an upcoming war, which will require strength, courage, and wisdom. Meanwhile, Ure tells her friends that she is going to the palace. When she arrives, Prince Eze welcomes her and keeps her company, as Prince Odi is still in a meeting with the king. Ure is pleased by the attention, while the queen watches from the background. Soon after, a guard comes to inform Prince Eze that the king wants to see him. When he joins the king and Odi, the king tells them the story of how he got the scars on his hands. He reveals that he had once been presumed dead, but an unknown woman revived him. He emphasizes the heavy price of war and the dangers their kingdom now faces. As tensions rise, Prince Eze and Prince Odi begin arguing. The king, frustrated, dismisses them both. Prince Eze later goes to look for Ure, but finds out that the queen had sent her away. Ure recounts to her friend how Prince Eze had engaged her in a pleasant conversation and everything that happened during her visit. Then, a man named Namdi arrives loudly, demanding repayment for a debt owed by Ure's father, equivalent to 5 gallons of palm wine. He insists on staying until the debt is paid, and Ure allows him to wait. Meanwhile, Prince Eze is enjoying himself, while Prince Odi is deep in thought, planning how to deal with his brother, who has challenged his authority. One day, 2 palace guards arrived and called for Ure on behalf of the prince. Her father was worried, but he called his daughter, and she followed the guards peacefully. When she arrived at the palace, Prince Odi pretended he was the one who sent for her. Ure became scared by the way he was staring at her. Fortunately, Prince Eze arrived and told his brother that he was actually the one who sent for Ure. He then left with her. Prince Odi and their mother remained silent as they watched them walk away. Prince Eze spent some time with Ure and shared many stories about his childhood with Prince Odi. He told her he wanted to get to know her better, and she didn't see anything wrong with that. She encouraged him to think about how he could use his position as a prince to positively influence people, saying that if he took the lead, others would follow. She added that the people hoped he would become the next king because of his kindness, which reminded them of his father. Prince Eze was amazed by her words, but said he just wanted to be a normal person who helps people in need. He then walked Ure home and thanked her father for allowing her to visit him. Ure's father was still concerned because it was unusual for a prince to take such an interest in a common girl like his daughter. Later, when Prince Eze returned to the palace, his stepmother scolded him for spending time with someone she considered ordinary. Despite all she said, Prince Eze told her he was different from the rest of them. She tried to hit him, but Odi stepped in and slapped Eze instead. Eze, knowing where things were headed, challenged Odi to hit him again. Odi didn't, and Eze walked away. After a while, the queen called Prince Odi and shared some secrets with him. She told him about the king's illness and revealed her plan to make him king without sending him to war, since she feared he wouldn't survive it. Odi insisted on going to war anyway, but she silenced him, saying that once he became king, it wouldn't matter. She said she would organize the people to parade him as king. She also complained about Eze's late mother, claiming she used to intimidate her. She spoke badly about Eze's mother and then encouraged Odi to become king as soon as possible. They left the room together. The next day, Uri's father went out to tap palm wine, but Namdi, who saw him returning home, immediately demanded the money he was owed. Uri's father explained what had happened, which Namdi already knew, but he still took his bicycle as payment and left. Ur urged her father to fight back, but he couldn't. Later that day, the town crier announced that all the youth should gather at the village square for a parade. Around the same time, Prince Eze found Ure looking sad and cheered her up by calling her his own. He told her he had chosen her to be his wife, because the time for princes to choose their wives was near. Ure's father entered and interrupted their moment. When Prince Eze found out that his brother was behind Ure's father's recent troubles, he went to confront Odi. Odi insulted him and brought up their late mother. Eze said nothing more and left. Soon after, Namdi returned Ure's father's bicycle, saying the prince had ordered it. He also informed him that he was now exempt from the month's tax. Ure's father was surprised and grateful. Namdi then pleaded with him to help connect him to the palace. Ure told her friends what was going on between her and Prince Eze, but most of them found it hard to believe. One day at the palace, Prince Eze opposed the queen's decision to organize a parade while the king was still alive. The queen explained that the king was very ill and that the healer had said no one was allowed to see him except her. She claimed that holding a parade was necessary, as it was considered an abomination for a kingdom to remain without a ruler. Although she gave her reasons, Prince Eze did not agree with her. Odi then called a guard and ordered him to announce that the parade would take place on the next market day. Later, Prince Eze was spending time with Ure. They made promises to each other to be together in the end. That day, Prince Odi, feeling discouraged, spoke to his mother about how everyone preferred Eze over him. His mother encouraged him, reminding him of his worth and promising that he would be crowned king the following day. Prince Eze continued to enjoy his time with Ure. He helped her fetch water from the stream and carried it back to her house. When they got home, he even helped her prepare a meal. The next day at the palace, the queen called for an urgent meeting. Prince Odi was already seated on the king's throne. The queen was about to share bad news about the king with the elders when the king walked in, strong and healthy, and sat on his throne. Both the queen and Prince Odi were shocked. The priestess then spoke, revealing that a harmful pin had been placed under the king's window mat. It was an ancient object powerful enough to bring down a mighty king. She credited Prince Eze for discovering and removing it. The queen, who was responsible for placing it there, claimed she didn't know what it was and said she only kept it there for easy access. She apologized to the king, and he forgave her. They then discussed the upcoming war and declared that all the best warriors should be prepared. Prince Aze went to Ura and celebrated with her because the king had recovered. Ura expressed her worry about Prince Odi going to war and the danger he faced, but Prince Aze said staying behind wouldn't help either. Ura reassured him that with proper guidance he would be fine. They rekindled their love as the moment passed. Days later, the chief priest began fortifying the bodies of Prince Odi and the other warriors as they prepared for war. After the blessings, he anointed Prince Odi to lead the warriors. At that moment, the queen confessed that Prince Odi was actually born shortly after Prince Eze. The midwife responsible for the births admitted that the queen had threatened her into keeping this information secret. The king was furious upon hearing this and immediately banished the midwife. He ordered the queen to face a severe punishment. Feeling humiliated and betrayed, Prince Odi walked out, seeing himself as the fool among them. The king then asked Prince E if he was willing to lead the warriors to war. Eze accepted, ignoring the cries of the people. Explaining that tradition required him to do so, he encouraged the people with strong words, and the king instructed him to go and prepare. Prince Ez ran after Ure, who broke down in tears, expressing her pain and fear that he wouldn't live to see the child she was carrying for him. He comforted her, promised to return, and gave her his mother's bead. His mother was also a healer. After convincing her, he left. Prince A was fortified as well. After addressing the people, he and the warriors went off to war. The king prayed for his safety and reassured Ura that her beloved would return. Later that evening, the queen begged the king for forgiveness. The king, still furious, remarked on how Odi had wrongly enjoyed the privileges that belonged to Eze for many years. He walked away, promising to deliver his final judgment. The next day, Prince Odi was in a rage in his room. His mother came to check on him, while elsewhere, Ure was in deep sorrow, being comforted by her father. Meanwhile, two kingdoms were locked in a fierce battle on the field. Even through the night, the king, the chief priest, and the priestess offered spiritual support, praying for victory for Ez and his warriors. The following day, Ure was quiet, lost in thought, and replaying the moments she had shared with Prince Az. Her friends were deeply concerned, and some of them even expressed the opinion that Prince Odi should have gone to war instead, as they believed he was tougher than Az. They discussed it as the day passed. At one point, a maiden delivered Prince Odi's meal to him. He assaulted her and threatened her to remain silent. Later, he went to his mother, who was in pain, apologizing to him and declaring she was willing to do anything to ensure he became king. That night, the war continued. The king noticed that both the queen and Prince Odi were missing. Alarmed, he made a decree that his wife would face severe consequences if both of his sons went missing. Meanwhile, Ura's friends distanced themselves from her. That same night, while the chief priest and the priestess were still praying for the prince's safety, Prince Odi joined his brother on the battlefield. Together, they defeated the enemy and celebrated their victory, reminiscing about old times. Tragically, Prince Odi took advantage of the moment and stabbed Prince Eze. At that exact moment, Ure felt a sharp pain and fainted. The chief priest, sensing something terrible had happened, told the king that Prince Eze had died. The king cried out in anguish. Back on the battlefield, Prince Odi shouted in false victory. Ure's father called for help, and her friends insisted on taking her to the palace, where the healer was. After examining her, the healer told her father to leave, assuring him that not only would Ure recover, but the gods were interested in her. Her father left. What was about to happen next was beyond anyone's expectations. 3 days later, Ure's friends asked the healer why she hadn't woken up yet. The healer explained that Ure was connected to the source of her power, and she was actually more powerful than the healer herself. Ure would wake up when she was ready. Not long after, Ure woke up and began asking for Prince Az. Overcome with grief, she cried out in pain and rushed to the palace. There, she heard the false story Prince Odi had spread about his brother's death, but she refused to believe it. The king then addressed the people. As the maiden, whom Odi had assaulted, gave him a cup of water, the king prepared to crown Prince Odi. Just then, Prince Az entered. Ure broke into praises for him. Prince Az then revealed to everyone how his brother had stabbed him with a knife. He said the only reason he was still alive was because his mother's spirit came with Ure and healed him. Eze demanded that Odi swear to prove his innocence, but Odi collapsed and died. There was something in his drink. His mother then came forward and confessed that she had been the one who killed Eze's mother out of jealousy. Immediately, the gods struck her with madness. The king declared that she would never be remembered and would be buried in disgrace. Prince Odi's body would be thrown into the evil forest. The people rejoiced and celebrated Prince Eze as they all came together to enjoy the moment. This movie teaches us important life lessons: to care for others, to protect what is right, to reject rebellion and envy, and to understand that what is truly yours will always find its way to you, no matter what. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more interesting updates on the latest Nigerian movies. See you next time.